Muscle is your organ of longevity.
Yeah.
If you don't understand that it's not about, I don't want to bulk, I don't feel like training, I want to look lean, I want to look skinny, but you're not thinking far. You have to realize that muscle is the only thing that's going to make you age young, age gracefully. If you're worried about aging, then you should be worrying about your muscle composition.
That's
You was
so
trying to
cool.
record that? You trying to record it?
I
You got that
did.
on your
I'm not
Instagram.
trying. I did.
Oh, you did?
Of
Well,
course I did. I'm
I
fascinated.
decided, yeah, you looked great, so I
Thank
just
you.
said, and then, somebody, I don't, that's not your voice, but, talking about muscle, and
Yeah.
yeah, so I just decided to put that as the intro.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That was a
no
great,
doubt.
great choice.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? This is KLA, Cloud the Wanderer. And yeah, tonight I have a special guest, a lovely guest. Her name is Amanda Ferreira.
Do you wanna hear in Portuguese or in English? My last name.
We do both.
Oh,
If you
so in Portuguese we say Ferreira.
Ferreira,
In English it's weird, it's like Ferreira, but
Ferreira,
you could also say Ferrari. That's fine. Works.
Ferreira, or
Ferreira.
Ferreira. That's a nice name. That's a nice name. So you're from Brazil?
I'm from Brazil, correct? Yes.
Okay. When did you came in the States?
When?
Yeah,
Uh,
when?
10 years ago now. Actually, 9.5. It'll be 10 years in August. This August to
Oh,
celebrate my America anniversary. And
okay.
yeah, so it's time flies. Time flies.
All right. So you wellness division.
Yes, correct. I started as wellness back in Brazil. Then after I moved to America, I had to switch to fitness because wellness division wasn't a thing at my federation. And now recently, I want to say 2021 ish. Don't quote me on that, but I think 2021 I started doing both. So I started doing fitness and wellness, but then after that, I just like I'm going back to my roots because I just love the wellness physique, and I think it was built for Brazilians, and so I've been doing just wellness since then.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to learn about the wellness. So, the wellness division,
Tell me
you
about
know.
it. Ask me. I know everything. I was there when they got created. It is. I mean, started it back in Brazil because that's just like our. I don't want to say all Latinas because no, Latinos is a big group of people, and I
Right.
do believe Brazilians are a little bit different than the other Latinas because we're colonized by different country. We have a different
Mm,
language,
yeah,
in a very like I want to say continental country because we're huge. But it was very much built for Brazilians, because we have the big legs, the big booty, the small waist, kind of like more an softer upper body. I
yeah,
just love it. I think it's beautiful. I think that's for me the perfect female body.
yeah. Some people call it the teenage division.
The
Cause,
teenage division, is that really? I
yeah,
don't
because
know
there's a
if
lot of hardcore. There's a
I
lot
don't
of
think
hard.
teenager
There's,
has that amount of muscle in her legs, but
there, no,
I
I
don't know.
mean, don't get
You're
me
very
wrong. I'm
feed your
sorry.
people here. It might just be.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I'm fascinated by the wellness division because I be looking at a lot of wellness competitors and I'm like, wow, they look amazing. But
It's
they're all like devoted female bodybuilders, that kind of look at that as the teenage division.
Well, I understand that, and I really believe everybody should look however they want to. I
Yeah,
mean, I have my personal preference. I built my body around that because I think it's so important. Going back to like my coaching practice, it's so important for women to absolutely love what they look in the mirror.
right.
So if I have a client who tells me I want to have a bigger upper body and a skinny lower body, I'll deliver whatever she wants. Um, but I think that's probably the real power in bodybuilding is being able to build only certain parts of your body, not overall. And that's the biggest difference between, let's say, CrossFit athletes and bodybuilders. Because CrossFit, they do it for performance, not for looks. So their bodies just develop naturally whatever they're using the most. Bodybuilders is, okay, if I want to grow just my hamstring, how am I going to do that? And that's when the real science kicks in. Instead of just training everything all the time and just getting big all over. I mean, power to them. I know how hard it is, and I take my hat off to them. But I would say the real bodybuilding is really in just like very detailed and intentional growth of the body.
Yeah. I mean, I got a picture of you when you first started.
That is right.
You look
That's
great. Yeah.
2014.
Wow. What got you started into bodybuilding?
So I was a dancer when I was a teenager. So during my high school years, I used to dance and perform
Right.
hip hop out of all things, and just travel around Brazil and around my hometown, doing competitions and dance shows. And I love the stage. It always came very natural for me. I loved it, loved it, loved it. I stopped when I was, I want to say 19,
Mm.
and all of my early 20s, I gained weight, lost weight, gained weight, lost weight so many times. We can talk about that later. But I remember, getting more and more in love with fitness. Mind you, that's what I went to college for back in Brazil. It's a major, so it's called physical education. So I've always had that physicality in me. But I remember it was also when Instagram started, and or should I say the other network? When Instagram started, and I was just like following a lot of athletes because I was getting so passionate about it. I loved working out. I loved like looking good and looking fit.
Mm.
And I just remember I went to a bodybuilding show in Brazil. Arnold Rio used to be back in Rio, not in Sao Paulo. It used to be called just Arnold Brazil, not South America. For my first ever like bodybuilding show, because I just wanted to meet the athletes. I wasn't competing. I never crossed my mind competing. So I went there and I saw all these athletes, no males and females, but I was more like drawn to the females because I admired them so much. And I was extremely disappointed with the vast majority of them. There was only 3 athletes that I looked at them, was like, wow, they look exactly in person how they look in the pictures, and I love that.
Mhm.
But the other athletes, most of them is still back then, and we're talking about 11 years ago, already using a lot of Photoshop, a lot of like stuff that when you see it in person, I'm sure you've met lots of female bodybuilders in person, and it's not always what we see is what you get. And I was like, that something got in my mind, like, I can do this. Like, if they are on stage and they look like this, and no disrespect, absolutely, it was just my line of thought. I'm being completely honest, my line of thought back then. I get back home and to my hometown, I was like, I think I can do this. And I do miss the stage. I love how amazing it would be to step on stage again, doing something that I love now, which is working out and looking fit. And like, I want to say Arnold Rio was probably around April, something like that. And that show was around June. So I just started getting ready, and just stepped on stage. Had no idea what I was doing. My former mother-in-law did that bikini for me. A friend helped me with the hair. Another friend helped me with the makeup. Stage, if you ask me about my routine, I have no idea what I did. And of course, I wasn't even called call outs, but no, I was hooked after that.
Yeah. How did you get better? Like, you got a coach?
Eventually, yes. At first, I was just my old trainer was coaching me. He wasn't specialized in bodybuilding, but he was a great, amazing trainer. But I just noticed that I did probably on that 6 months period, I've probably done like, I want to say 4 to 6 shows, like back to back. When you're young and dumb, you can do anything you want. And didn't place in any of them at all. And then I decided, if I really want to do this and do it properly, after a very bad experience, just like finding advice from friends and almost killing myself doing a very severe water depletion, then I decided to hire a coach. And then I got my pro card.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to my first bodybuilding show was like last year. I attended. I didn't participate.
Uh-huh.
My first time. I went to New York Pro, and I went to a
Uh-huh.
OCB show in New York City.
Which month? When was that? I had a client compete there, the
Which
OCB.
one? Oh, the OCB. This was in August. Yeah, late, like maybe early August.
She competed later in the year.
The Big Apple competition.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
yeah, I'm planning to go to the one here like in Atlantic City
Uh-huh.
the
And I was just
23rd.
if I knew you before, I just took two athletes for the Atlantic City, the WBFF show last December.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful show to watch.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna plan to check it out. Yeah. We got all the way George Page. Good evening.
Good
And
evening.
to all the way George Page. Wellness division works for the women with the strong Afro aesthetics. And no fit model is the teenage division. And we
Good
got Lawrence Perkins. Good morning,
evening,
Amanda and KL. Yeah. So like like um like what was I about to ask you? Like so you got your pro card and then what happened? Like you did more shows?
Oh yeah, I've been doing shows ever since. So 10 years now. 10 years,
Oh,
11 years.
okay, 10 years.
I started
Oh, okay.
2014, got my pro card 2015. And that same year after I got my pro card, I went to the World's competition in Vegas. Didn't place, but I just kept trying. I never really stopped until I got my pro title as a queen in Bahamas 2021. And now I'm going for the world title. I'm trying to retire, but I won't do it until I get my world title as a world champion in my category.
The
So
world title.
my bid this
Okay.
year,
Okay. Good luck on that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
What would you say was your best show
the last one,
competing?
sure,
Yeah, the last one.
the
Yeah,
last one.
I have
Yeah,
a picture of that. Okay, this
there
one,
you
right?
go. Yeah,
Yeah, looking great. Yeah.
thank you, thank you. Now I was, it's so funny because for women, I'm sure you've heard that so many times. We're so extremely judgmental of our own bodies, especially being bodybuilders, female bodybuilders, because mostly all the shows that I've done, I look at the pictures, I'm like, maybe for a split second I like them, and then after that I start like picking up all the bad things that I don't like on the pictures. But
Yeah,
this show in particular, I can honestly say, of course, that comes with maturity and age. I'm almost 40, so that that helps. You have a better, you're going doing that up from a much better mental space than when I was 30 and I started it. But almost all the pictures, I actually really do like what I see. Of course, there's a lot of things that I can improve, so I can identify the rooms for improvement, but not from a place of picking myself apart like I used to do before. So I actually, that first picture you showed, I was like, damn, girl, you did well.
yeah. I mean, you looked great. Like, yeah. Like, how did you get better with the posing? Like your coach, he was like, he was like teaching you like
Yeah,
majority of
yeah.
the time.
I've had a few posing coaches. Honestly, probably around three, like official posing coaches back from when I first started and first started doing pro shows in 2016 or 2015. I hired a posing coach. In 2016, hired another one, and then recently I had my coach who does my nutrition and training, who did for this last show. They also did my posing coaching, and like they said, like I have already like my way of posing, and coming from a dancing background, like the stage comes very natural for me. And the WBFF, we don't have compulsory poses. No, it's very free posing style. But they just help me see like my best features, like how to position my body, the transitions, like the sass that we need to put on stage. But yeah, definitely helps having a posing coach.
Mm, yeah, yeah. So he asked, what organization WBF? That's
WBFF,
the
yeah, it's for
WBFF. Okay.
yeah, World Beauty, Fitness, and Fashion. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah. I seen the I'm sorry to cut you off. I seen that it seemed different because I'm used to like talking with people with the IFBB organization or maybe sometimes the OCB. So it's very that once in a while I'll get like a guest that that attended like the WBFF
uh-huh.
organization. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
it's very
noticed.
different,
Yeah,
completely different animals.
yeah. Yeah.
because we
Why
did.
don't you explain it? I'm sorry. I don't want to. Let me shut up.
Don't worry, don't worry. I mean, it's a conversation, right? That's how
Yeah.
conversations happen. Don't worry about it at all. So the WBFF, we're almost like a fitness modeling brand. You know, it's not. They don't even call themselves traditional bodybuilders, and I don't think it is, because it's it's a whole package. And me, I came from NPC back in Brazil, which in Brazil is called IFBB, even on the amateur side. So I did the traditional bodybuilding, and I could understand it's from the neck down, you know, and not to say whether it's better or worse, it's just different
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah.
But IFBB, NPC, traditional bodybuilding, from the neck down, they're judging your physique, they're judging your symmetry, they're judging your adjustment to the standard, to the pattern that they're looking for that body. Can you have some? Okay. Um, and I think now they're
Can you see
kind
this?
of, huh? I can see,
Can you
yes,
see
yes,
the screen?
yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
look.
I just want to make sure. Okay.
The WBFF, like I said, stands for World Beauty, Fitness, and Fashion. So it's a whole look. It's from your face to how you, we call it marketability, to how you represent the brand, to how like you style your hair, to the pieces that you wear on stage. Like you'd see my bikinis are very different, because that's also accounted for.
Yeah.
Like it's your fashion statement as a fitness model. Um, and it's like also like the standard is not really a standard. Let's say for wellness, I shouldn't have to aspire to look to a certain look, but I just need to bring my
Yeah.
best on stage, and whoever shines better on the stage, you know, because and it is very it's not objective, it's very subjective, wins, because it's more like which people say, and some people use it as a detriment, which I actually think it's actually a compliment. It's a beauty pageant
Yeah.
for fitness. Yes, you need to look beautiful, you need to look happy, you need to look healthy.
Right.
We don't want to see people that are like looking miserable on stage, because we're trying to sell fitness. We're trying to tell women like, this is amazing, this is great, like you should do this because it's only going to make you better. So if you put an athlete on stage who
Right.
looks like suffering and like looks unhealthy, no shame in your game. It's just different purposes, different reasons. I admired the ladies who do traditional bodybuilding so much. I've coached some of them with posing, with nutrition, with training. They really take the body to the next level, but this is a different thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm. Yeah. Yeah. This is kind of different. That's the thing. It's some people like would be like they would look at it as a beauty pageant, a beauty
I mean,
pageant
it is.
bodybuilder show.
It is. I
Yeah.
love being beautiful. I want to be beautiful and fit. Sign me up.
Yeah.
I don't want to be fit and ugly. Sorry.
Do you pay attention to the
What?
do you pay attention to like the other organizations like IFBB Pro or anything like
Oh,
that?
absolutely. I love the IFBB Pro, the wellnesses. You know, the Brazilians are dominating.
Right.
Franciel, Isamara, all the other girls, they're doing amazing. And I mean, I train in two gyms here in Miami, one of them being a very, very much like a bodybuilder's gym. There's several pros that train there, and I
Yeah.
admire them so much. Like their muscularity is beyond incredible. I just wouldn't like that for me, because I know in order to get to the physique, I'd have to make lots of changes in my lifestyle, which I'm not interested. It's a whole different level of commitment. But they're amazing. They're amazing. Their thighs are like the size of my chest. It's incredible.
Mm, yeah. Um. Okay. The WWE superstar Bianca Belair is a W
Yeah,
the
the WFF has
WBBF
exported
Pro.
some athletes to the WWE, and that's the thing that the WBFF like prides themselves. Is just it's a marketable look. You know, they, like I said, they want women to look on stage and not just admire, but like, I would love to do that. I would love to be on stage, because that looks healthy, that looks sustainable, that looks and inclusive too. So, and that's why I
Yeah.
said it's not a better or worse position. It's just completely different levels. Traditional bodybuilding, it is an elite sport. Like only very few have the genetics, the discipline, the motivation, and the money to invest in order to become like a Mr. or Miss Olympia, to become like a champion at an Arnold level of competition. WBFF, of course, for you to be a world champion is another thing. For you to just compete and step on stage is such more inclusive. We have some other categories like transformation, where people who've lost 100, 200 pounds can step on stage. And I love the concept of it because I want everybody to be able, and for me personally, as a coach, I've trained so many women, even like older women, who just want to do that as a bucket list. They want
Yeah.
to get their best shape. Of course, they're not gonna necessarily have a six pack, or they're gonna have some loose skin, but with all the glam and the makeup and the hair and the right bikini and the right outfit, they do really feel like divas. And for me, that's like priceless. That's so special.
You think that could be um like like advertised on TV or something like that, or
Absolutely. I think it will soon enough because the
yeah,
world is waking up. There's this big shift in the health and fitness industry, in the wellness industry. Women are understanding more and more, thank God, the power of muscles, the power of lifting weights. So you see that surge of like women are wanting to look more muscular. They just don't quite know how yet. They're starting to get more knowledgeable on that, and they're starting to lose their fear of looking too muscular because they're starting to understand that it takes a whole lot to look too muscular. You're not going to just like casually end up being too muscular.
yeah.
So I can
I
definitely
mean,
see that on the TV, like a pageant, like a beauty pageant. Absolutely, like Miss America or something.
yeah, because in society, I know but societies don't. It's not fav. A woman with muscles, it's not very favorable. It's
Not
not
yet, but
appealing.
it's changing because even the
Yeah,
Kardashians now are working out, and I mean not working out. They're lifting weights, and they're trying.
yeah.
I saw an interview with Kim the other day saying like, yeah, she lifts weights and she wants to grow her legs now instead of just a fake ass. I'm sorry, can I say that? No.
Yeah, it's okay.
Completely unfiltered here. I'm being as real as I can get, but which is great for me. Thankfully, we're moving from surgery, fake bodies with liposuctions, BBLs, and just big breast implants until a built physique, which is more sustainable, it's healthier, and quite frankly, it just looks so much better.
Do your organization have like a drug test
Now,
or no drug test? Oh, so how would they know like if somebody had like steroids or anything like that?
if they have what?
Steroids, like
Oh,
like
they're not worried about that because
oh
women who do steroids, and mind you, I do HRT. I'm like I said, I'm 39, but there's ways and ways of doing it, right?
yeah,
Uh, but women who do excessive steroids, they wouldn't step on stage at WBFF because you start developing masculine traits, most likely. So
okay.
the look that they're looking for, it's not appealing for them.
Mm, gotcha. Gotcha. And, we got over Balls Deep. Hey, what's up, Balls Deep? Smoke Gang. Good evening, gorgeous.
Good evening.
Chicago, Chicago up in here. Smash the like button. Thank you. Peace and blessings. Make me a moderator. Earth Daddy passed away. Get out of here. Um, and more like fit and beautiful.
See, do a
So
research. What guys like more like fit and natural and beautiful, or like the surgery type of look. I think it's shifting. Like the beauty standards of society, even in America, is changing. Mind you, I'm from Brazil. We go for the strong and fit look ever since I was a teenager. That's a while ago. So
yeah, when was the last time you went to Brazil?
last year, I go
Oh,
every year.
last year. Oh, okay. Did you go to like a show or anything like
No,
that?
no, just visit family.
Oh, okay, okay, that's cool. That's cool. But why the United States? Why you moved from Brazil to the United States for bodybuilding, or
For
what?
bodybuilding, yeah. So back in the days, I
Oh,
mean, it was a job offer from one of my sponsors. She asked me to work with her. Mind you, she was Brazilian, but she had some business here, some business in other countries, so she was very itinerant. But I was already competing overseas. So I was living in Brazil.
yeah,
Excuse me, I did a show in Vegas. I did a show in Miami. It was my first, no, my first international show was in Vegas. Then Miami, then Orlando, and just not honestly, like the bodybuilding scene here was the best, much better than Brazil 10 years ago. Was I would say Brazil was always big in bodybuilding. Like we had shows, we had all of that, and we've had great athletes always. But bodybuilding as a sport wasn't nicely seen. You know, it was almost something like you do when you're just big and dumb. And I've never believed the narrative. And every time I came to America, either for a show or even as a vacation, people were complimenting me. Oh, you look like you work out. That's amazing. Like the whole support that I got here rather than Brazil was so different, so different. Even though Brazil likes and have always liked like big and fit women, bodybuilding as a sport wasn't seen as nicely. It was seen like almost like a sub sport.
Yeah,
And here in America, no. Back in the days was already like this huge thing. And also like my federation, the WBFF, they didn't have any shows in Brazil back then. So if I wanted to compete with them, because I didn't want to do it NPC anymore, I had to travel abroad and come do here.
are you familiar with Carla Maria? She's a bodybuilder.
Who? What's her name?
Carla Maria.
Carla Maria. Not
Yeah,
really.
she's from She's Portuguese. She's a bodybuilder. She's
From
huge.
Portugal?
Yeah, I don't know if she's from Portugal. I think she's from Brazil. Yeah,
Oh, I don't
Brazil.
know, sadly.
Yeah. Maybe I could show you her.
Yeah, maybe by picture, no.
Amanda, your story will continue to inspire others around the world, including myself, lead by example.
Thank you, Lawrence. That's
She
very
like
sweet of
saying
you.
that.
Bye-bye.
And all the ways it will take a long time for people to be more open-minded to women with muscles. Yeah, I mean, it's not really, it's like to say that you like women bodybuilders, it's kind of like looked on, for like that
It is. It is,
average
but you know
person.
what? Women who like muscles and men who like muscles or women, I don't think they care much. You know,
Yeah,
even here in Miami. I mean, I'm in South Beach. I'm at the heart and center of cardio bunnies and Pilates chicks.
okay.
It's changing. I have more and more women like lifting more, rather more in the city than actually on the beach. It actually took me a while to adapt, like, because you got and even in my smallest, I'm like probably one of the biggest girls in my gym. And you get there and you get like, oh my goodness, I'm so big. But then you start like, you know what? I'm not. It's just and you let go of that because I'm really not doing that for women's or men's approval. I'm doing for myself. I know what I think it looks good on me, and I just love it. I nobody can tell me nothing when I have my veins in my arms and like my legs are tight and my stomach is snatched. Like it's the best feeling in the world. So I think it is taking a while, but I don't think people who are already loving this like really care.
Do you have guys approach you a lot, like in the street, like you walking or anything like that?
They do. They actually do. Yeah, a lot
Yeah,
of compliments, a lot of like questions, but it's all positive.
yeah,
I've
that's
never
great.
had a hater here or somebody tell me no nothing negative.
Well, I
Honestly,
mean, you don't. I mean, in my opinion, you don't really look, abnormal or anything like that. Like,
I don't. Yeah,
you have that femininity and you have the masculinity, the muscularity and stuff.
yeah, but I
So
think actually that's what makes people like think twice because they're used to extremes.
yeah,
Either a very masculine, muscular woman or either a very soft and feminine woman who like has a very soft, like maybe lean like a Pilates body.
yeah,
They're not used to seeing like big thighs, big glutes,
yeah.
and a soft like look on the face, like a more like a very feminine or even upper body more feminine, even though like I am jacked, don't get me wrong, respect my biceps. But still like compared to the ladies who do traditional bodybuilding, still very, very, very different. Yeah.
I didn't want to put that out there, but he
But
did
I
put it to earth.
just
There goes your flex balls, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like a lot of guys, they like the extreme more, with the muscular women. Yeah, so
Yeah, it's like so to each it or to everybody its own. Is that how you said? Like it's really I think also like a big thing that needs to happen is that this stigmatization. I make up words, okay? I don't know words in English. I just make up words. Taking the stigma of fitness women and like that, what's the word even, fetish, which I
Yeah,
understand
fetish
always
is-
happened, but we're so used to seeing, like, even back in the 80s when like real female bodybuilding started, there's so many documentaries and movies about it. Like the women just sell themselves as for as a fetish, persona. Now I think it's slowly being more acceptable. I can display a picture in a bikini and not be necessarily vulgar or like just appeal to a masculine crowd. Just like a guy, when he's at the peak of his performance as a bodybuilder, he doesn't post a picture in a swim trunk expecting to get likes or comments from girls. Only dudes are going to be commenting on his picture because girls really don't care. The same thing for the other. Like I can post a picture and it's all about the intention. In a bikini, in my competition suit, showing my glutes in a respectful way. Like this is my art, this is my body, this is my sport, rather than just like send me likes, send me this, buy me that, sign up for my OF or whatever people are trying to sell these days.
yeah. I noticed you mostly bodybuilding for you is more holistic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Because like I said, I've been doing this for 11 years now, professionally
yeah,
for 10. I'm 39, I'll be 40 in October. And I think it's so important to keep a natural beauty. Now, when I say natural, don't get me wrong. I do Botox, I do fillers, I do all those things that God graciously provided us women to look beautiful and young. But I think it's so important for me to look feminine and to look, healthy, because bodybuilding, and even like at my federation, at the level that I compete, we do take the body to extreme. It comes at a price, not to say every time I do a show and I dehydrate, my skin suffers. Every time I bulk and I get bigger, and then when I lean down, also my skin on my body suffers as well. My metabolism suffers. It comes at a price, but it's all, for me, it's all about knowing how to do sustainably. Like, I try to do a show every other year, if maximum one show a year. This year I might do two, just as a closing in my career, because I know I'm getting the world title.
yeah,
But yeah, for me it's all about like being able to, and also from the mindset perspective, I need to be able to enjoy. It is a sport. I'm taking to the extreme. I am doing my absolute best. But if I'm not enjoying the process, then for me it loses its purpose. I want to win, of course. I want to get my crown. I want to win my world title, but I also need to enjoy my life while doing it. I'm not going to be miserable 6 months of the year and enjoy the other six. I've done that in the past. I've had that phase of my bodybuilding career where I was miserable for half of the year and semi happy for the other half, because I was enjoying foods and drinks, but I was miserable on how I looked because I looked so bloated because I didn't know how to diet.
right.
So I needed to get, like, take a step back and say, like, I don't think I'm doing it the best way I can, and completely change my approach to a prep. I'm able to really enjoy all the phases and do it in the best way possible, in a way that it doesn't hurt me, it doesn't hurt my health, it doesn't hurt my mental health or my physical health.
Right. Do you have family of your own, or you just by yourself?
I have family back in Brazil and in Spain, but
Or
here in America by myself. Yeah,
or you don't have like friends that like visit your shows or anything like
I
that?
have this here. That's my family right there.
Oh, that's it. And he don't go to your shows?
She can't because
Man,
she didn't learn how to applaud her mom. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No,
Wow.
but I always have friends or coaches, or I've been competing such a long time. You develop lots of friends within the federation, so it's always like you're never alone. You're always like surrounded by people who love you and are cheering for you.
So you're like a sports and a fitness instructor.
Yes,
Like
I am.
yeah, what made you decide to become that? Like what motivated you or inspired you to do that?
Like I said, I went to college for that, right? But for many years, it didn't work for that. But it wasn't only until 2019 I really felt a calling, after battling with body dysmorphia, as one of your followers just said right here, after battling
Yeah.
with binge eating disorder and just suffering so much to maintain a physique. I did a course on health coaching, because I wanted to understand better my relationship with food, with my body. And after that, like, it really snapped me, like, this is really a calling in my life, because I've suffered so much with my body. Um, just not being happy ever, and always constantly battling like food addiction, that I know I wanted to help other women. I know I wanted to just make this like really my mission. So since 2019, I opened my company, and that's what I've been doing like full time: fitness, coaching women. I do personal training. I do online training. I train amateur athletes. I train professional athletes. I train, soccer moms. I train some celebrities. So it's everything revolving around fitness and health. And now also like going a lot more like on the wellness part of it. So like your mindset, your habits, your sleep, your stress management, your food habits, just all those things. For me, it's about aging or reverse aging the best way possible.
Yeah, yeah. Like you got any like stories of your clients, like any success stories? I know you probably do.
Success stories, yes, absolutely. So many. I can share one that I posted this morning. I have this client, this beautiful client of mine. She's actually she won a scholarship. So I did a challenge in 2023 at the end of the year. So many women sign up, and I said whoever is the most engaged and show the most amount of like results is gonna get a scholarship for 3 months. I believe I did. She
Oh,
won. She's from Haiti, and so I gave her the scholarship. I started training her, coaching her virtually, of course. She's back there in Haiti. And by the end of the 3 months, like she shared such a beautiful story of transformation, and I don't know if you're familiar with a little bit of Haiti history. This past year was going through civil war. She was here for a few months. She couldn't go back home. It was like a disaster. She had injuries, battle, and she made it through that. I decided to adopt her, as my client. So I've been taking care of her for the past full year. And she just sent me a message today. If you go on my stories, you'll be able to see it. But she lost, I think it was over 30, 40 pounds or something like that.
mm.
She's 52 or 54. Don't quote me on that. I see so many numbers a day. I get like confused.
Yeah,
And
it's okay. It's
she
okay.
just did her first pull up. Like she just grabbed the bar, boom, at age of 52. I was like, how amazing that this woman, just doing a virtual coaching, when people think sometimes it's bullshit, she'd be able to completely transform her life, battling injuries, battling like the middle of a freaking civil war.
Mm.
And she just did it. She transformed her health. She was on so many medicines, and the doctors were trying to give her drugs for this and for that, for that. Like, you don't need those. You just really need to eat a little bit better. And
Yeah,
she did it. It's incredible.
yeah. What's her name? Shout out to her.
And Fabienne,
Oh, Fabian. Shout out to Fabian. Yeah,
shout out to her. If you can pull up my story there, you'll see her.
yeah. I will. I will. I'll check and like, let's
Pull it
do it
up, pull it
now.
up. Let the world see.
Yeah, like, why not? Check that out. Okay. Tell me when to
Okay.
scroll
I posted
down
this
or
morning, so it should be, if
oh,
you
it
haven't
should be
seen it.
up. Okay. I will
Yeah, it's on
scroll.
story. It's not on the feed.
Oh, the stories. I got you. I got you. Yeah. So you even do like a Zoom call or stuff like that?
I do some calls. So I do initial calls with my clients. I do monthly calls with my clients. I do Zoom training as well. I'm actually starting a new
Mhm.
venture, which is an online strength training class. No, go
Which
up,
one?
go up. No, all the
Oh,
way
oh
up.
yeah, your stories.
Profile
Your
on my
stories.
stories.
Okay.
Up, up, up.
Stories. Okay. Oh,
No, not really.
okay, okay.
Click on my profile picture.
Okay.
Next one. Next one.
Okay. Okay.
And next one. There you go. It's coming.
Okay. All right. First
See,
time in my life being able to do a pull up. I'm so grateful for your support. I got leaner and stronger. Okay. Can you do
52.
a
Yeah, there
muscle
you
up?
go. No, I can't even do a muscle up. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
train
that's
for it.
great.
I
Can you?
know, right?
Yeah, yeah. I try to do a muscle up. I ain't gonna lie. I try to do a muscle. Up. I try to
Man,
do like a one arm pull up at but I huh?
I stay in my lane. I like lifting weights and I like
Can you hear
looking
me?
good. I'm not necessarily
Oh,
trying to be super skilled or do like that. I think those are amazing, but being able to do a muscle up wouldn't really do anything for me. So I just
right.
focus on what my talent, which is lifting weights and building some good muscle.
It's legs. I know legs is like your favorite body part to work out on.
Absolutely.
One set of
Leg day every
45,
day.
just the ball for 20 reps. Yeah, that's cool. How long you stay in the gym? Like, well, I mean, that's your life, right?
Yeah, that's my life. Yeah. How long I stay in the gym training myself? It depends. Some days I can only afford 45 minutes. Some days it goes for an hour and a half easy. And that's just weight. On top of that, there's
You,
also cardio.
are you a good swimmer? Yeah,
Huh?
are you a good swimmer?
Not at all. I mean, I can.
Like, are you a good swimmer? Like,
I know how to not drown. I know how to save myself, but don't nobody count on me to save them because that'll probably be an issue.
and this is like the holistic wellness event kick
Yeah,
off
so I did an event with this
2020.
beautiful
Yeah.
institution called Leap for Ladies, which is an institution that helps women get from the penitentiary system, from prison system, and supports them with
Mm,
classes and structure and everything, so they can get back into society. So I did an event at the beginning of the year, just trying to bring awareness for the cause and just show the ladies how important it is to have health associated with this whole transition back into life, to normal life. So
cool.
that was really special.
How do you work out on the mind, like to keep your mind like on relaxed
To keep my mind on
without
relaxed. Oh
yeah
man, there's so
from
many
stress,
techniques.
like
Stress. Well, the first thing I can say to you is that my faith helps a lot. I'm a
okay,
Christian. I'm a believer. And I believe that if I didn't have faith, it would be a lot harder, if not borderline impossible.
right.
But yeah, my faith really helps keeps me grounded because I know God chose me, I know God saved me, I know God loves me, and I know I cannot mess up what He fixed.
Mm,
So as much as we're all flawed in our human nature, God is sovereign and God is the greatest, and I feel his love, I feel his salvation on my life. So that gives me peace. So any stress that I have, any problems that I have, like I said, I'm an immigrant, I'm alone here by myself, I'm a divorced woman, I have my dog and two cats to take care of. I work full of fitness. Fitness is my life. That's my full breadwinner. So of
right.
course I have stressors in my life. Of course, sometimes and I make investments. I have two companies that it's a lot of work. I just hired my first assistant, so she's helping me a lot. But it's a full-time job, and even battling traumas from divorce, from abuse, from all of that. So I do have stressors, but every time the stress start to get too big, I come to this,
Right.
which is my salvation, is what keeps me sane. Is the Holy Bible, is the Word of God that keeps me stable and puts a smile on my face all the time because I know He's got me. That's it.
That's good. I haven't read the Bible in years, so I the one story I did used to read was Job, because I think that kind of like reflected on me, like just him like questioning God, like why does he go through these tribulations and stuff like that. So
True. Now
yeah,
that's a beautiful story because even like when Job was going through it all,
yeah,
he never cursed God and he never doubted God. He went through it all and then he had these conversations, but he always trusted him, and reward came after that. And that's a lot of coming back to how to manage stress, how to manage life in general is, for me, it's a belief, which is faith. I believe that God is my savior. I believe that God has my back. Doesn't matter what happens. Even if I know drop that and die right here, right now, that's not an issue because I'm gonna go up to heaven, be with the Lord. So it's
right,
always a win.
right. To be a bodybuilder is to have passion and discipline. Most people don't have that. Yeah, I mean, everybody can't be a bodybuilder. I don't. I wouldn't want to be a bodybuilder because it I mean, I've worked out before, but it's just certain things that I'm understanding. It's like the mood swings and all that stuff like that, and the prep and just trying to drop carbs and all that stuff. I couldn't. I mean, the closest thing I got into that was being a vegetarian, and that was like months, like not recently, but like maybe
Uh-huh.
like 20 years ago, and I've done that. I was doing that for like months, and then I started getting real skinny, and I was like, nah, maybe I need to stop doing it. But I slowly started,
Uh-huh.
eating like back meat, but my cholesterol at the time, it was so high.
Hmm.
I wanted to be healthy and stuff. I worked out, but I wasn't like, my eating habits was very poor. So you know,
Yeah. Oh, it definitely requires a lot of discipline. Absolutely. It's the power of knowing how to say no, and most importantly, knowing how to say not now. And that's where I think most people fail, not just necessarily on a bodybuilding diet, but on just diets in general.
yeah,
Because if I tell my clients we're not training for a bodybuilding, so they're just trying to lose, let's say, 5 pounds, it's like, it's not that you can't have the cookies, just don't have the cookie every day.
yeah,
Save the cookie for the right time, for the right occasion. Because also what happens, and we can go so deep into that, we start as a society and as people saying so many yeses to our uh, instant and immediate pleasures, that we have really sunk down our dopamine levels, because everything is that instant gratification. It's the notifications on the phone, it's the 30 seconds on the microwave. It's like, I'm hungry, I eat. I'm thirsty, I drink. I'm
yeah.
lonely, I scroll, and I set a date on freaking dating apps. That it's become a real rare but valuable quality to be able to say no and be able to suffer for a while, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I always tell my clients, like, if you're to compare, like, to learn how to be hungry, because our levels of satiety and hunger are so messed up with this American diet, because our foods are so chemically transformed and just empty of nutrients. Like, let's say you're out on the street and you didn't bring a jacket and it's cold. What are you gonna do?
If I went outside, and I probably go back, I will go
No, you
back.
can't go back. Let's say you're
I
out on the
can't.
street and you're walking on a long walk with your
I'm gonna
friend.
have to deal with it.
You're gonna have to deal with that. Eureka, genius. It's the same thing with being hungry. If you have a diet and you're hungry, you're just gonna have to deal with that and understand that you don't necessarily have to eat just because you're hungry, because most likely your hunger hormones are messed up. So your feeling of hunger, it's actually not hunger. You just want to eat. That's a craving. It's a psychological hunger. It's not a physiological hunger. Your body's not hungry. Your mind is probably bored or stressed or sad, and your brain's just trying to cope with it. So it wants something to give pleasure, because the brain hates misery. But it's precisely when you learn how to endure the misery, the very brief misery, that's when you become mentally stronger. And that's how you can, like, oh, okay, I'm hungry, I want to eat something, but that's okay. I don't need to eat right now. I'll eat in an hour. So it's such a small gesture, but it's so powerful.
How do you stay disciplined for yourself? Like even when you started bodybuilding, like
Uh-huh.
how did you try to avoid like the bad food, like the food that you
Oh, I
desire?
still eat bad food. I ate 3 cookies today after leg day.
Shame
But
on you.
so, no, not at all. Shame on you if you didn't eat, and they were delicious. But I would tell you this: I know about nutrition. Also, I can't afford to eat those cookies because I did a
Yeah,
very heavy leg day. So there's actually fuel for my muscles. Second thing is, a diet. If a diet is not sustainable, nobody will stick to it. So
yeah,
whatever type of diet, it needs to include your favorite foods. I'm a cookie monster. I love cookies. So I might cut cookies out of my diet, maybe even the last 2 months of a prep, but that's it. It'd be the first thing I'll eat after I'm done with the show. But thirdly, I hate being average. I never liked looking like all the other girls. I love looking muscular. I love looking like an athlete. So that has always pushed me. If I'm like slacking, which I've had periods in my life where I slacked, or like maybe I went through like a very hard times, like even during my divorce, that I train less, I eat a little bit worse, I lose a little bit of muscle mass. But you divert a little bit, but then you're like, okay, that's not who I am. Back on track. I am this. It's a construct. I think at the end of the day, it's like you're building yourself, and that's a very conscious act. Like, I'm building exactly the type of woman that I like to be, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. It doesn't come. It's not a random act. Oh, I'm just gonna work out and look amazing. No, it's a conscious thing. Like, there's a certain look I'm going for, because that just makes me feel good. It's not to please other people. It's not necessarily to win shows, even though that's part of my goals too. But it's like, I take great pride in myself when I look in the mirror and I see an athletic physique, because I know the type of person I have to be in order to have that physique. I know I need to be disciplined. I know I need to be healthy. I know I need to be diligent. I know I need to be intentional. And all those things are traits that I value and that I admire in other people. So that's the type of person I want to be.
Yeah, yeah. You kind of remind me of this Brazilian girl. She's a bodybuilder. I forgot her name. Let me see. I think
If she's
yeah.
ugly, I'm going to be very upset with you.
No, I guess you do. You look familiar. You look I don't know her name, but
You sure it's not me?
wow, no, hold on.
Just kidding. I got jokes.
You,
I got
you look
I got
just
jokes that I think
you
they're
look
funny.
you kind of remind because she's from Brazil too. She's from Brazil, but her name's not coming to me. If anything, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, and it send me
She
your,
she
my way
she,
later, because
she
I'm now.
yeah, she lives in she
Yes.
she lives in Florida and stuff, and
She's in Florida.
let me see. Yeah, I was just on your story.
I
52
know,
is a
right?
blessing. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
God is good all the time. Even the Cookie Monster on Sesame Street has fact on
I
eating
do, I
cookies.
do, George. I do every now and then. I went from cookies every day now to cookies twice a week, so that's good.
Yeah. I like sugar. Like sugar, I get really addicted with sugar.
We all do, man. Sugar is just as addicting as
To
cocaine.
learn
Studies
something
have
new
shown.
every day. Natalia Abram Coelho.
Natalia.
No, no, it's not Natalia. I forgot. I forgot her name. Let me see. Fala. Let me see. Nah, I forgot. I forgot her name. Forget it. Yeah. So yeah. What else I could? What else? What else? So tell me about your Zoom. Like you be on the Zoom and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and
Oh, so yeah, I started this new venture. It's called We Lift, which
okay,
is the whole concept is I'm teaching strength training online for ladies, men too. Men are welcome too, but I think women mostly benefit. Which I believe a lot of women are completely lost when they step in the gym. They have no idea what to do. It's intimidating. They get lost. They don't have the proper help or instructions. So
mm,
that's why most of them run to the cardio or to the classes, which I personally have a fit against, because I think most classes are detrimental, at least for women over 35. So
okay,
my mission now is to bring women to the weight room. So I'm starting teaching women collectively strength training via Zoom. So they go on my website, amandalifestyle.com. There's a calendar to sign up for classes. We're having out 2 times a week for now. At a certain time, they get the link, they hop on Zoom. I show them the exercise, they start doing it, and then I'm correcting them. So it's not just they're following any YouTube video. I give live corrections. So I'll go say, so and so, do more like this, so and so, slow down, engage your core. So it's like a personal training session, but we do it
yeah,
with small group setup and via Zoom, so online.
I'm gonna ask a silly question. Do you own a gym or?
Not yet.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, all right, all right,
So on the books.
all right, all right. Well, I did make a video, a little something, something from your Instagram,
Let's go.
and you can
Watch
check.
it.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
awesome.
That last,
Thank you.
yeah, no doubt. That last part about the knees. Like, why don't you tell people, like, about like what you were saying about the knees? Like, if you have like bad knees, just you just
Well,
work.
yeah, a lot of the things that we consider as injuries or bad knees or knee pain is just really for a lack of use of the knees and lack of strengthening of the muscles that revolves the whole joint, the whole articulation. So let's talk about knees, but that serves any joint, right? Shoulders, hips, ankles, wrists, elbow. If you have pain on your knees when you're squatting, it just means your quads and your hamstrings and your chin and all of that structure is very weak. So people, because they have pain, they avoid doing the movement, but avoid doing the movement is actually causing them to feel more pain because they're getting weaker. So there will be a point you have to go through some pain so you can make your body a little bit stronger so you can like develop your muscles, because developing the muscles not only make the bones stronger, but make the whole joint, ligament, tendon structure also stronger, more resilient, more prone to resist the angle and the pulling and the strengthening and the load, that you're able to have a healthy knee, that you don't have any pain if you're like have to kneel down on the floor and grab a piece of paper. So it's very counterintuitive because people think if it hurts, I shouldn't do it. But when you don't do it, it just makes it worse.
Yeah, but what kind of exercises would you like recommend for somebody that has bad knees?
Well, first you need to check their mobility and their whole thing, right? So maybe just doing some stretching at first would be good to identify where's the weak spots, where maybe it's not even weakness, it's just tightness on
Mm,
their joints. So we need to do a proper mobility assessment, a flexibility assessment, a movement assessment, see if they're maybe bending more to one side, how are they working, are they locking their knees when they walk, are their hips twisted? It's a whole thing, like the whole body connects, right? The whole body communicates. So if your knees are hurting, it might not even come from your knees. It might come from the way you're stepping on the floor. So you might need new shoes. You might need to adjust your step. You might need to just stretch your fascia on your foot. But past that, it's just anything that moves your knees. It's squats, it's lunges, step ups, step downs, it's leg extensions. So if it's a severe pain, what we'll start to do is a very low range of motion squat, maybe on a chair, like a high chair, holding at a bar. Like I trained this gentleman, uh, he must have been like in his mid 70s, 72, 75.
yeah.
So he didn't have a lot of knee pain, but he has two knee surgeries, hip replacements. So it's a lot of little details here. But I made him squat, got a TRX, go all the way down, all the way up. And that little like gentle movement, you start bringing things to life, because what happens is our bodies are made to move. If you don't move, your structure is going to start dying and falling apart. So not doing something because it hurts, it might be necessary temporarily when it's a very acute injury, but it's not the best solution long term. You need to go a little bit beyond that pain and like keep tackling. So like maybe you start with a restricted range of motion, you start going a little bit deeper, you start increasing, and you start adding a little bit of load, a little bit of like more I'm gonna say even like a harder position. So maybe you go from a TRX into just holding a bar into maybe just doing a free body weight squat, or maybe just sitting down on a chair and standing up. So there's all these little progressions you can do to bring life back to that structure.
Yeah. How long it took you to like learn all this? Like you said you went to school like
39 years.
35 years?
39.
39 years? Oh, so you've been like accumulating all this knowledge and stuff.
I
Like
mean,
just learning.
yeah, because it's life. I definitely didn't learn all of that in college. My college degree was 4.5 years, should be four,
Yeah,
but
of course.
I like to party a lot. Actually, it took me 5 years. 5 years. But then also like I was in a gym at 13 years old, doing
Yeah.
classes and dance classes. I started lifting seriously heavy at 21. So that goes like I have at least 18 years of lifting consistently, week in and week out. There was only one period of my life that I didn't go to the gym, was when I had a severe mold intoxication that I was off the gym maybe for 2 to 3 months. That was the longest. Apart from that, I'm in the gym every single week, at least 3, 4 times uh, during the week, lifting and teaching clients from all ages and backgrounds and goals, from teenagers to working with children, to working with elderly people, to working with very high powerful people, to working with very humble people, to working with very undernourished, to obese people, to working for high performance, to working for mainly vanity, to working for rehab, to working just for the fun of it. So if you're mindful enough and you're paying attention enough, you learn the cues from here and there. Not only that, like in the gym, but also like coaching people. It's just
Yeah.
something you do through life. Like I've been very fortunate and blessed to have a lot of people drawn to me that I can have conversations like I'm having with you now. Like, and I know you didn't ask about faith, but I can't stop not talk about it, because I really believe it's a gift from God, that wisdom and knowledge comes from God, and I'm just able to share.
Yeah.
Like how to read, because it's a lot of coaching is how to read people. It's not just about knowing the best exercise. There's a lot more people way overqualified than me, with a lot more degrees than I, but it lacks the personification of it. The personability, if that's even a word, that when I step in a weight room with you, let's say if I'm to train you, just intuitively, I'm gonna start like trying to get to know you and understand, excuse me again, what do you really need? Because sometimes the client doesn't even know what they need. They can't even verbalize it, and or like paying attention to how they move, where they move, how their facial expressions, their breathing, how the, like, let's say a client says, are you in pain? He says, no, I'm good. But it's constantly like rubbing the shoulders. The client might even realize that they're having shoulder problems, but their brain hasn't really paid attention to that anymore. But if I'm looking and I'm seeing the client is constantly there, I'm like, what's wrong with your shoulder? It's like, oh yeah, no, I see, there's something here. I haven't really understood, but something was bothering me. So it's a lot about that. It's about like really understanding that there's a person in front of you and paying attention to that.
Yeah. For you, like, what was like an injury that you recovered from?
Um, a physical injury.
Yeah.
I've I'm very blessed, and I haven't really had many injuries in my life. Actually, I want to say I had two. One before I started bodybuilding, even. But I remember I was back in Brazil and I was just studying long, long hours for this big test I was going to do, for a job position that I was applying. So I want to say like I was 16 hours a day sitting on my butt, reading and researching. And then I went to the gym to work out, and my trainer, he said, just go on a leg press, a horizontal leg press, and start warming up.
Yeah.
So I put like very little weight, but I was just mindless, started warming up, and then something snapped and in my lower back. And I went to a orthopedic surgeon back then, and he said, it's just tightness. You're tense, because I'm sitting like this now, no, my hunched back like for hours. So of course my lower back was tight, tight, tight. That was one, which thank God now it took a while to heal, because it took me a while to understand how to even reposition myself. But thank God I feel nothing anymore. And another one was I was stupidly playing beach volleyball here in Miami. And being an athlete, I'm a little bit competitive. So there's no dead ball. The ball came close to the net. I was just like running and chasing, throwing myself at it. So I was going with my foot to try to get the ball. I did like maybe a couple of times. So the third time, I just heard a noise like, and I was like, I froze. And I never went to the doctor to see that, but there was a tear on my hamstring. That took a while to recover, especially because I didn't get treatment. But it's all good. I think it is still a little bit of a knot in here, but it's fine.
Well, I mean, thank you for sharing. I mean, yeah, I really appreciate it. I think it was very educational, telling me about yourself and, what you do. Yeah.
Pleasure. Thank you, Claude, the Wanderer. I love that name. Thank you for
Thank you
inviting
for
me.
pronouncing it. Right. I like that. I like that.
I feel
Yeah.
very flattered to be here among so many amazing athletes. And, thank you for also spreading the word on female bodybuilding. I think that's really important. You're doing a great service to us all.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And message for you, get back on reading the Bible. There's going to be a lot of good stuff for you in there.
Well, I do like a spiritual practice. I practice Falun Dafa. It's not Christianity, but it kind of it helps me connect with God. If I
Amen.
could say that. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's the only way. Talk to the Creator.
Yeah. I've been doing that for like since 2006.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think somebody got somebody got something for the chat. Best of luck in your journey.
Thank you, George. Thank you for being here.
He also talks to female bodybuilders too. Like if you interested, George, maybe you could talk with him. It's just a
Oh, reach
suggestion.
out. Let's do it.
Yeah. So, well, but thank you again for sharing your story. I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity and your time. And yeah,
My pleasure. My pleasure. Have a good night. Can't wait to see the full video. I'm going to watch it all over again.
all right.
Why do people talk shit about you in rooms that you're not in situations that you're not associated with, in groups that you're not part of? Because that is the only way they can get your name into their conversations, and they know it. They see what you do as powerful, maybe even as a threat, and they're keeping your name on their lips. Wow. Take that, if you want, as a compliment, that you're so important, that they're so inspired by you, that the only way to keep you in their conversations or in their lives is to keep talking about you. Because for the rest of us, we move the fuck on.